Yo, what's up?
What's up?
You doing all right this morning, homie?
I am, man. I'm like tired, man. It's ever since this time change, I've been like lethargic
Yeah,
a little bit. Like
those
not
never
just
really affect me too much.
what the only other thing I can think of too is because of how I've been training this one dog this past month has been in the morning, so I haven't been going to the gym in the morning.
Yeah,
So I think that has a lot to
getting
do
you
with
out of whack.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So but that's that.
yeah, that shit'll get you out of whack when you get off that routine.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think my body's adjusted to that yet. So
Yeah,
figure it out. What about you? How's your week go?
it was all right. Week went by kind of slow at work, but other than that, I mean, it was a good week. And then yesterday, me and the little one went out to the big ass flea market we got out here, Traders Village.
Would you
Rummaged
say that's
around
like
that place.
would you say that's like the biggest trader, like the flea market
It's
or
one
something?
of them. It's one of the biggest ones around
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Damn.
It take you a full day to walk around that whole place if you can
Damn.
hang the whole day.
Damn.
But
You
yeah,
gotta
it
take
gets
videos
hot
next
out.
time
It
you
gets
go.
hot as hell out there, especially during the summer. So it's kind of hard to be out there the whole day. If you get there early, most people usually leave around noon because after
Well,
noon,
you need to take video next time you're there so we can kind of see this.
yeah, we were out there yesterday. We didn't find much. Little one got a huge Venom poster from the Trade Bros out there. They have like a
Okay.
little Pokemon shop, anime, Marvel comic store out
Oh, nice.
there. So, but that's about all we found. We didn't any cards and stuff that I found. It was basically your junk era, 90s stuff.
Yeah.
So, and one
That
and
you
one
want
big thing.
that people want top dollar for.
Yeah. They try to sell some stacks of
Yeah.
90s baseball wrapped in rubber bands with no sleeves or anything for like $10. It's a little stack of like 20. Like, no. You ain't
No.
gonna sell these.
Yeah, man.
But you do anything this weekend?
Uh I think we have it up here on our rundown, but yeah, I went to we had a Tampa Card show this weekend. So it was Friday, Saturday. I went Friday, Saturday. I had a golf tournament that I was playing in. So
Yeah.
I couldn't go Saturday. But the Tampa I'll say this for the Tampa Card show, the last month's turnout wasn't big, but I don't know if because the weather just started breaking and it started getting nice. So I don't know if maybe people, and I think spring break was last week too, so it wasn't
Yeah.
too hectic.
Everybody at the beaches.
Yeah. So this it was packed on Friday. It was good crowd.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like one of the themes that I've saw, and like everybody's cases, fucking Deshaun Watson, man. It was like
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. I'm like, God damn. So like, I feel like all that shit's coming out now. It's
Yeah.
just flooding the market. So the people that were hoping to turn and burn on that, I
Try to
just
get
feel
rid
like,
of it now.
yeah, but I just feel like they're not going to make that much margin off of it because everybody's pumping that shit now, right?
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong, but like for me, like it was just Deshaun Watson. Like fucking every case had shit ton of them in there.
Yeah, I bet, man.
I always try to go against the grain on that shit.
Yeah. Go out and get them Mitch
Yeah.
Trubisky's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some people had some nice Trubisky's in some cases too. I mean, he's going to a good fan base, a recognizable franchise. So I don't mind that, like with him, card plays on that. And, if he turns out to be average, I mean, he wasn't good, but was that really his fault or Nagy or,
Yeah.
we'll
I
find
mean,
out.
I thought he did good the first season he started. I didn't think he was bad, but after that, then it kind of went to shit. But
But I think Nagy was taking more and more control of that offense,
yeah, and Nagy turned out not to be that great of coach. So
Nope, and I was talking to a Steelers fan there, and they're like, "Dude, like, whatever, we'll give it a shot. Like, we don't have any better options." And they're like, "You know what? Like, we got him for fucking absolutely nothing."
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, if he turns out great, if he doesn't, then would you really lose?
exactly. Yeah, and I I think he'll do pretty good over there. They got a running game, decent defense, and everything. So I think he's at least set up in a good position.
I
So
see. But I'll see this too. I'd say like Mahomes stuff is like I feel's been hit pretty hard too.
yeah, especially after losing Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek to the Dolphins. I mean that they went from probably still being with him, being like the team to beat in that Western Conference to fucking Chargers, maybe Raiders.
Yeah.
Like Raiders, maybe. Like I think the Chargers did what they needed to defensively.
I think the 3 other teams did a hell of a lot more than what the Chiefs have done. Yeah, the Chiefs signed Juju, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. He ain't Tyreek.
I mean, I think Herbert. I mean, I've been picking up some stuff here and there, like the blue scope.
Yeah.
And then the green prism. So that's kind of been my play because I feel like defensively they did what they needed to be a contender.
Yeah.
To compete
they went out there and signed some players.
But I mean, offensively, I said it's just still the same team, but I mean they sputtered halfway through the season. They sputtered halfway through the season last year. So yeah. I don't know if they did everything they needed to offensively. I know them keeping or re-signing Mike Williams is, still helps them, but I'm not sure offensively they did.
And if Keenan Allen can stay healthy the whole season.
Yeah. So.
I like Austin Eckler too, but I still think they need like just a bruising running back too back there.
Yeah. So there is I have it on my phone and I sent it. There's still a good list of free agents out there. It's crazy. I sent this to Brian over at the card shop. These are the free agents that are still unsigned. You have Bobby Wagner, Stephon Gilmore, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyrann Mathieu, Julio Jones, Jadeveon Clowney, Calais Campbell, J.C. Treader, Jarvis Landry, Melvin Gordon, Dwayne Brown. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like you still have a decent amount of like.
Who do you think's the best out of that pool right there of top free agent?
Probably. I mean, he's come off a knee injury, but I still think he still has the youth on his side a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would go with that.
I think Melvin Gordon's a pretty good pickup for anybody if they're able to get him.
Yeah.
I could see him signing with the Falcons because I know they got Cordarrelle Patterson, but I don't know. I think they could use another one because they use Patterson so much, in every aspect of the offense. So
I could see that. I mean, this just depends on what these guys want for money, man. Matthew, I think still the Honey Badger's still great. Like he did good for Kansas City back last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, the secondary got exposed, but that's what that Sorensen. I don't know if I sent you that meme or I posted it.
Yeah.
Where it's like how much of a cakewalk can Tom Brady get, because he signed with the Saints, the Sorensen as a safety. Like, Tom Brady's going to tear that ass up. But there's rumors that Brady might go to. There's rumors that Brady's going to get approved a trade for him to go to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe it until I see it. I mean, I could see why he'd want to go there. There's a decent amount of talent offensively on that side of the ball, but I know that he's pretty good with Mike Evans and all those other guys. Like, I could explain maybe why Gronk hasn't signed yet because he's trying to work to get over there. Then once Brady signs, he can go over there, to Miami. Like, I don't know. Maybe
what do you think the odds are of that?
I don't know. I would say like 60-40 he stays.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I have his validity to is that he wanted to be part owner of the Dolphins or, have our ownership stake in the Dolphins.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Then when the whole Brian Flores thing happened or whatever, he was like, okay, I'm staying away from that,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I can see that maybe
it will.
So, so he can kind of time himself in there. And then two, he can try sticking it to Bill Belichick twice a year,
Right.
But even last year's game, I still think Belichick won that matchup. Yeah, Brady won the game or whatever, but we were going to win that game if we didn't fucking fumble with like 3 minutes to go on their side of the field, you know?
Yeah.
And Brady didn't do shit in that game, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know. I just I still think there's plenty of moves. I mean, you got the draft coming up too, so maybe people aren't overspending like free agency right now just to see, you know, where things are going to fall in the draft and, you know, all that. So who knows? I mean, still a lot of plays, and I think after the draft, maybe these guys are holding out. Our teams are holding out until after the draft to see hey, how we still need to plug these holes.
Especially with the receivers, because this draft's supposed to be deep in wideouts. So, instead of paying, because I know Jarvis Landry saying he won $20 million a year. I don't see him getting that from anybody, but
maybe the Browns goes back to the Browns. There's a rumor him and Odell were said they would be open to going back to the Browns.
Yeah, but I don't think the Browns are gonna give Jarvis $20 million a year, and if they give Jarvis $20 million a year, you know Odell's gonna want more than that,
or the same. I mean, I think Odell has to do a prove it type of deal again because of that knee injury.
Yeah,
that's twice. I think is it different knee? I think it's different knee, but it's like twice 2 knee injuries. So I mean, who knows? I mean, I'd still like if I was New England, I'd still want him, even if he comes back in the third of the season, you know?
Yeah. So I know last week we skimmed over a little bit of it, but this week, now that there's been more free agents signed and stuff, what are there any specific card plays you're looking at, you know, for new destinations of players and, you know, their impact in the card world?
I kind of stay away from like the receivers and like running backs. Like I'll stick to quarterbacks. Like I know the Herbert stuff. Everybody's like, since Burrow got hot and they actually solidified that offensive line. I know Burrow's like cards are hot, but I feel like Herbert's have kind of cooled down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of staying away from Burrow stuff right now. I don't think it's a bad play. I just don't want to pay an inflated price for it.
Yeah.
And I think that offensive line got a lot better, so it definitely makes them more of a contender. I will stick with picking up Herbert's, you know, when I think it's feasible.
Yeah.
I probably might get back and scooping up a couple Mahomes because I feel like while they're down the trade, whatever. But I'm very selective here and there because when I go into it looking for a flip, you know, a lot of those times, like it's like 50-50, you're going to win or you're going to lose.
Yeah.
On those. So I'm very selective with that. But what about you?
Like we were talking earlier, I may try and pick up some, you know, Mitch Trubisky stuff, see how he works out the first few weeks of the season. If he starts out hot, you know, turn around, flip him, and, you know, see if you make something off of them. Right now, I still think they're fairly cheap. You know, I don't think you're going to be paying crazy prices for him yet because he ain't done nothing. But there's probably a little spike when they first signed him, you know. But
you know who else I think is cheap that people forget about? That's been like probably a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Matt Ryan.
I
was just about to say, what do you think about Matt Ryan cards? You know, now that he's in Indy.
Yeah, I think the team's decent there. He has weapons. He has an offensive line. Like, so I think his cards and his stuff, I saw like his SPX rookie auto at the show for like, someone had a raw one for like 450 to 6, somewhere in there. I can't remember. It was in that range. And I was like, I feel like that's not a bad, you know.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, the Colts made the playoffs last year, and I think he's not Carson Wentz. And I think Carson Wentz's play is what screwed him in the playoffs last year. So, I mean, and he's made it to the Super Bowl before. So maybe he can get them over that hump in the playoffs and maybe not get to the Super Bowl his first year, but I mean, get further down, you know, and at least show that they can keep going. Cause I don't think they really lost much, did they? Aside from Carson?
Like Pascal or somewhere went to like the fucking Ravens or fucking Washington. I don't know, somewhere like Pascal. Like he went, but I mean, honestly, like
But they still got Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman
Yeah.
Jr.,
Yeah, and
T.Y. Hilton.
he doesn't have to be like the sling it gun slinger, you know.
Yeah.
You have a stable running back there. So I think his stuff might be a play.
Yeah.
I
I also think Davis Mills too for Houston.
yeah, there's been a lot of
Now that he's got a year under his belt, you know, starting as a rookie, and then he'll have a full offseason being the number one. Yeah, I mean, I think because Tyrod's not there no more. He went to where the hell did he go?
Giants.
Atlanta?
I think it's not the Giants.
Oh yeah, it was the Giants. Yeah, it was. So yeah, I mean, as of right now, he's the number one unless they sign somebody else or trade for somebody. But
Baker.
I think his cars would be a decent play. You know, see how he comes out starting off the season.
Yeah, I have a couple of like his paper rated rookies.
Yeah, I have a few, not too many.
Well, I mean, those were just pulled out of packs. So I mean, I'm literally
I have a few of his illusions and a few like parallel rookies and stuff.
Yeah, to card show, if I do the flips, if I want to flip anything, like when it comes to players, like I just don't try to do the players. Like I'll buy the wax. So I pick these up. Yeah, the card show. I actually sold that Iverson Kaboom that I had, that PSA 10.
Yeah.
For just under $1,000, and I was able to pick these up for around that. You know, so I pretty much traded. Retrospect, I pretty much traded the Iverson for these, you know, sealed wax, and I feel like the Contenders wax, it was in the, you know, sixes. I got these for around, you know, the fives, you know, $5.25 I think a piece. So you'll see over time with wax is the same thing. Initially it comes out, it's hot, and then it cools off,
right? And
then over time, 6 months from now, it usually, you know, heats back up. So so I don't really try to bet on players. I just bet on sealed wax because I don't need one player and hope he does well. Like I have a whole draft fucking class of 2021, you know, that I just need one person to do well in, you know. So that if I flip, I usually do it with wax instead of cards.
Yeah. Did you pick up anything else there besides the wax or?
No, I sold a couple things there. I honestly, like, I've been just trying to get out of some of the base stuff. Like I got out of like a Vladdy base, like Topps Chrome rookie, like a pink refractor of his.
Yeah.
Like technically, I think it was like a third card of like Wander Franco.
Mm.
You know, it was like a Bowman. It wasn't his first or whatever. It's like one of those prospect type ones.
Yeah.
Just got out of some stuff that I don't have no attachment to, right? Just to raise capital and just save it, you know, for a Brady or wax or, you know, something.
Yeah. I'm trying to break down my collection stuff to just a few PC players, you know, that
Curtis Martin, Drew Bledsoe.
Not Drew Bledsoe, but Curtis Martin, Romo.
Oh, you made the cut. Curtis made a cut, huh?
Hell yeah, he's the number one cut.
Yeah.
Tony Romo, and then you know, just a few of the legend Cowboys like, you know, Aikman, Irvin, Emmett, and that's pretty much Mike Trout, you know, Vlad, Tatis. I keep those. And
yeah, I would say my stuff I focus on is like I'll do PC like Red Sox stuff. Like I got some like autos or whatever, like cheap. I mean, this one wasn't cheap, but this Ortiz red ink.
Yeah.
Just out of 25, just a sick card, man. Like it pops so well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, so just like stuff like that. I'll do Red Sox and obviously Brady stuff, Patriots stuff. I just don't go too hog wild with Patriot stuff. Like if I'll get them as gifts or, you know, they're cheap, like factors. And then
I think that's where I've been. That's why I'm trying to tone down mine, is because I got a shitload of Cowboy stuff, and half or more is they ain't even with the Cowboys no more, you know, or just didn't play their career with the Cowboys. So it's kind of, I'm like, do I really want these? You know, so.
Yeah, same with like Ovechkin stuff. Like I like him as a player. Like I have like I had one of his rookies I sold this year at a different card show. It was like a Ultimate Collection rookie auto.
Yeah.
Those things took off in price though. Like fucking, I sold that guy got a fucking steal for what I got it for, but I 10x my money on it. So
Yeah.
I could have like fucking 50x'd it.
Right.
But anyways, profit's profit. But like his stuff, but I'll probably unload his stuff here, once he gets close to that goal record. Some of the other stuff. I might hold on to that rookie auto because I feel like that has a lot of room to run. The SPX auto of his.
Yeah, and then once it gets to Hall of Fame time, probably jack up even more.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of just sticking with the same game plan. I think the only thing differently is like Justin Herbert's our quarterbacks I might invest in.
Yeah,
I feel like they can be a contender now, like a legit contender. And just wax, man. Like I'll just do wax.
Yeah.
Just because like I just need one person to hit in that draft class. Or if it's a good draft class, like last year's stuff has held fairly well, if not doubled from what it came out with. And I think this year's draft class is just as good.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean maybe a little. I mean,
who do you think's gonna be the top QB out of that? Malik Willis or Pickett?
I was talking about 20 to 21 draft class, like 2000.
I got you.
This draft class, I think, is more wide receivers. So I don't know. But like I said, like you have 5 quarterbacks: Pickett, Willis. I think Matt Corral is probably the most. I want to say ready, but he came from Lane Kiffin, who just fucking threw the ball 60 times a game down there. So like he has the reps ever put in. So I really like Corral out of this draft class. I know Willis, he impressed everybody coming out of Liberty, but like same with like Carson Wentz and shit, man. Like I know Carson Wentz did good when he first came in the league, but I just those D2-1 school, like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on him. Like Jimmy G was out of like a D2 school or wherever the fuck he is. Like, yeah, he's had a okay, average career, but nothing spectacular. So I would probably put like the Willis in like the Jacoby Brissett fucking category, to be honest with you. Like he's not bad, he's not terrible. I mean, he's just
we'll see how it works out. But
he's like the same build, same physical strength. Like Jacoby Brissett has a fucking cannon too,
Yeah, I was seeing that, like how he went from end zone to end zone pretty much, like Tecmo Bowl, But yeah, I know it's supposed to be deep in wide receivers. Other than that, the 2021, who do you think's gonna rise up this year out of the rookies from 2021?
Well, I wanted it to be fucking Mac Jones, but we haven't done anything offensively that I think better. Like I think we needed a stud number 1. Like we could still get him in the draft, like Jameson Williams or Menchie or something to hook him up with college teammates, or even Olave or whatever the hell his name from Ohio State. But
maybe you get Jarvis Landry or Odell.
I don't think we're not going to pay Landry
I know.
what he wants. But if I'm looking at like the quarterbacks, Lawrence, Fields, Jones, Lance, like obviously personally, like I want to take I'm biased. Like obviously I want Mac to do well, and I'm hoping he does the best. But I think if I'm calculating the offseason moves, I think Jaguars did a decent job.
I do too.
Putting weapons around. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Jets did too, but I feel like the Jets always fucking make these splashes in free agency and it never pans out. So that's being biased to that.
Yeah, so, I think it's Doug Peterson, right, with the Jags.
Yeah,
I think he's doing a pretty decent job of building up the Jaguars from what they had.
And I haven't really looked at Trevor Lawrence stuff at all. I don't know if I fully believe in him that much. Like I like this is going to be the year though, because that shit show that he went into last year with Urban Meyer and all that stuff. Like I feel like that could have fucked his whole career up, So I feel like stability and structure this year.
Yeah, and I think Doug Peterson will be good for him. At least better than what he had last year. But I think the Jaguars made some decent moves to where they'll be, at least maybe capable of making the playoffs. Not saying they will, but
I don't know if they're a playoff team, but I don't think they're a fucking 2-win team either.
Yeah, I think they'll be in the mix to be on the bubble of making the playoffs. Maybe depending on how it shakes out in the rest of the conference. But
I don't know. I just.
because I think the team in their division to beat is what they got. They got the Ravens and the Colts that they got. They not have the Ravens.
They're in the weakest fucking division. They got Indy.
Yeah, the
which
Colts,
I think
Texans.
with Matt Ryan, their team to beat Texans, and then Jaguars, and then Tennessee. I think.
It's Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was saying.
Yeah, you're thinking AFC North there.
Yeah, Baltimore. I don't know why. I guess I had the Colts and Ravens mixed up.
But yeah, they I still think Tennessee, still a good team to beat, and their Colts probably are the top seed, I'd say, in there.
Yeah, they snagged Robert Woods too. Tennessee did so.
But
I think he'll do better than Julio did there.
Oh, for sure. I'll definitely agree with that. But he's coming off of a knee injury too. And then at the same time too, like Derrick Henry, like he has to stay healthy. You saw what happened when he got hurt. They still had a great team, but playoffs they fucking shit the bed. Even when he came back, I don't know if he was 100% for that, but I just think Colts got better getting Ryan.
I do too. Yeah.
Like I think he's better than Phillip Rivers. He's definitely better than Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah.
So I think.
And he goes to I don't know. I think the Colts they're a lot better team than the Falcons were. The past couple of years. So
I don't think. No offense to Justin Fields or anything, but Ohio State quarterbacks never really fucking pan out. Like I don't think he's going to do anything really with the Bears.
Yeah.
I think Zach Wilson. He might be the most talented in that draft, but I mean, it's the Jets for me. Like until they prove something different, I can't do anything.
What do you think about Trey Lance over in San Francisco?
That's the only other thing is like I don't think he's worse than Jimmy. Now he has another year under his belt. I'm not sure what they're doing with Jimmy G still. I still feel like somehow he's going to end up with the Steelers.
The Steelers?
Or like Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, because Atlanta already signed Marcus Mariota. So, I mean, he could end up with the Giants. I mean, I know they signed Tyrod Taylor, but I mean, Tyrod's bounced around quite a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have I think Daniel Jones are still saying that he's their guy because he hasn't had like an offensive line or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean Baker too. Like Cleveland's not going to hang on to him. Like how much
they could be waiting to try and trade him. At the beginning of the season if somebody gets hurt or
a draft too. I mean, there's still trades that go on when they're at the fucking draft.
Yeah.
So if there's a guy there,
I think those are two that are going to get traded. Either before or right.
Yeah, but they were saying fucking Cleveland wanted a first rounder for him, and no one's going to give him that shit.
No, not for Baker. I don't think nobody will give San Francisco a first rounder either for Jimmy.
No, so I think like a third rounder for like the Steelers, I would definitely do for like Jimmy G. I know they had interest in Baker too, but the only problem with Jimmy G is he fucking can't stay healthy either. Like I feel like he's hurt all the time. So I mean, if I could let go of, I took for the loss on one of the Baker cards I had, like a rookie prism, just to move it. But I don't know, man. Like I still have one of his die cuts, his orange prism die cuts that I still think there's room to run in. Like I just feel like Cleveland's like a death pit for quarterbacks. I mean, maybe Deshaun proves me wrong. So like, I think Baker did fairly well there. And everybody forgets last year, like we talked about last week, he had a bum fucking shoulder all year. Like, I don't know if it's a throwing shoulder or whatever, but still, man, So I think I want to say like Houston or some shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, could be
I know
because
Mills
there
been
for a
one.
while it was Indy. He was going to Indy, so I don't know what happened with Indy unless they just got, I guess with
Indy
the whole
likes
Matt
their
Ryan thing. But
Indy likes their veteran quarterbacks though, so they all like they. I don't know. They just like their veteran quarterbacks.
yeah,
So
I mean, I think they made the right choice with Ryan over Baker,
Mhm.
but
But you never know. Like all it takes is an injury.
yeah.
Like I think Texans still need one. I mean, Seattle still needs a quarterback.
Oh yeah, Seattle's one
Um,
of them that probably
yeah.
because I don't know. Do you see them rolling with Drew Lock?
Yeah.
I don't either, especially
You
if
think
Jimmy or
Noah Fant has to be so fucking pissed? Like, holy fuck, I'm out of Denver. Like,
damn, I'm stuck with the same quarterback.
yeah, he's like, oh, I can go somewhere. Someone throw me the ball. Oh fuck, Drew
Yeah,
Lock coming with me.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I mean, I could see Jimmy or Baker going there. I would see Jimmy going there before Baker, though.
yeah, staying out west.
Yeah,
But I don't think San Francisco would trade him to their division.
rival.
Yeah, so I could. That's where I think Baker could go out there.
I don't know. I mean, they obviously don't have faith in Jimmy, so why not send him to your rival? You know how he plays, and all that. So you get what I'm saying? Like
No,
you know him, you're familiar with him, and you
I
don't think he's that great. So
yeah, I see
why
your
would you
point
be
of view.
scared?
I see your point of view, but I don't know. Like they just don't like trading to fucking.
I could understand if he was a superstar and you're just trying to get out from, salary cap hell or something, but you don't want him to go over there and then come back and beat you. But if you don't have faith in him, after 2 years of being your quarterback to get you there, then why would you have faith in him coming back and beating you with another team?
Mhm.
Unless they just had a badass offense and defense that all they needed was just a bus driver. But
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if talking like the local card show this month, like going back to that, like that's what I've seen. Like a lot of Deshaun Watson, like people inquired about my Bakers, but this is the thing that I know his stock's down on certain cards, and I've mentioned this to you. The people that I have cards like the Kaboom I sold it. The last one sold at 1075. I think I traded it for like 850, 800, something like that. Which I doubled up on that, like what I had into it. So I was happy to let it go. But the people coming up to me saying like, yo, well, it's the last one sold for 1075. If I want to sell it, if I want to buy it or I want to sell it, I need to make some money or room or money off of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, very chill when it comes to selling stuff with people at show, especially someone that I do a lot of business with or friends. Like I'm very lenient to leave them room. But these people coming up to me acting like I have to make them fucking money because they want my card at a discount.
Yeah, no.
Like, dude, I'm not a fucking charity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sorry for the language or whatever, but I'm getting really tired of people coming up to me saying, okay, because I got a deal on this card, that I should sell it to them for what I got it for. Like, no, dude, I'm not a charity. Like,
Yeah.
if you want me to be a personal shopper for you, I'll fucking do it. Give me a CC and I'll get you some deals and you can buy and sell and flip and do whatever you want. But just because you're going to turn and flip it or your intentions are to turn and flip this shit doesn't mean I have to hook you up. And that's the big frustrating part. And I think this goes back to what you saw or sent me a post of.
Yeah, right here with the whole influencers on the hobby.
Yeah.
I seen a comment and I agreed with it totally. It was something about, the diversity in the card hobby and stuff like that. And somebody had said, all these influencers and celebrities influencers and stuff in the card hobby now, you got to quit telling everybody that you can only buy below comps. It's, how do they feel like they can turn around and make profit on stuff if everybody's telling everybody to buy below comps? I mean, even them, how do they don't think people are going to come to them and want to buy below comps too? I mean, I don't see any, going above the low comp prices. If if everybody's buying below comps, where's the flipping at? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get, and that goes to
unless
the
you're
like
just flipping for $2 or something.
Yeah, not even if you sell on eBay flip it, like you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Because all fees and everything. So no, I'm getting like I'm getting very irritated with the fact that everybody thinks that they can come up to me, or even like other people set up at the show, right?
Yeah.
Like friends I have that set up at those shows saying like, oh, well, this one sold for this, or this one sold for that, or that one. Like even Brian told me like of a buddy that that has a card shop that he's friends with, that like some guy just walks in, goes with the alt app. He's like, oh, this one sold for like $20. You should sell it to me for like 10 or whatever. And he's like, he has it marked as like $80, but he's like, dude, if you sell me, he's like, if you fucking can buy these for $20, like I'll buy them from you for 25, I'll buy these. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just irritated. Like, I feel like, influencers are good for the hobby because of the fact like they're bringing attention to the hobby. But when you're going around telling people they only can buy shit for under comps or whatever, like, like you're attracting the wrong people at times to the hobby. These people that like think they can just get in, get a quick flip, or whatever. And then, one, you're setting them up for failure because it's not that easy. And at the same time, too, like I don't give a fuck that you want to turn and flip this card, man.
Yeah,
like,
because how many people want to sell their shit for below comps?
Yeah.
That's not why they're in the hobby for investing or anything like that, is to turn around and sell it for less than what the fuck they bought it for, or for the same price they bought it for.
And don't get me wrong, like you're going to lose out. Like, those Baker cards, like, he hasn't panned out when I bought them. Like I thought maybe last year, like this time last year, I bought a few of them, thought last season he might, have good, I'll let him go, but it never fucking panned out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm taking L on it.
It's one thing when somebody's having a bad season or something, and the market on them's going down. That's one thing to sell it for below comps because you're just trying to get out of it.
Or like for the Iverson Kaboom or whatever, like a Hall of Fame player or whatever, like the pop counts on that's only like 17 and 10, like whatever. Like the last two sold for 1075. I told you the absolute best I would do it on, like at the time was like 9 or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, dude, why the fuck? He's like, well, if I sell this for before and I take out my, that's like $150 or whatever, and $110, $20 in fees, on eBay. He's like, so I literally, break even. I go, I don't give a fuck.
That's like, business, problem, I mean, go find deals somewhere else, or get your own cards graded. That's my point too. Is as the person that say you got that card, you bought it raw for a deal, whatever. Then you turn around, get it graded. It grades a 10, 9, whatever. Then you turn around, sell it, and they still want to drop prices on that. It's like you did all the work, and you're getting a gem mint card. So why should I give it to you for $300 below what I'm asking?
This is pretty funny too. This is another one. I'll put stuff in Brian's Tampa Card shop case, whatever. He lets me throw some stuff in there. So I have like this 2003 like legendary cuts Tom Brady gem mint 10, right? PSA 10 card. It's like selling for like, I think probably say it's 300 range, right?
Yeah.
So he told me he had someone come in, saw that card, interested in it. He's like, well, raws sell for like $20 of this card. I'll give you like 50 for a 10. I'm like, dude, fuck yourself. Like if you look at any other base card of his, that's a 10 from those early years. They're all selling for around like 300. Right. So like why like that's what I'm saying. Like those people like I just won't do business with anymore.
Yeah. Like, and then you got the same people that are always trying to buy 50-70% below comps or whatever. They're the same people that are on, the live auction whatnots and stuff saying, come on, man, you're getting a deal for $20 on this, and it's a fucking $3 card that sells anywhere else. So but if somebody comes in there and says, oh, this is only a $3 card on eBay, then, then you'll get blocked or something from the, it's bullshit. I get tired of seeing it too.
I just kind of don't like, there's some people at the show that I deal with all the time. And I want to say I'm like famous or but I'm known around those shows. So I'll come in, I'll still strike deals with some people, and usually the cards that I'll move a little off cost are the ones that I'm well in on profit on, like Brady shit, because I was in on Brady shit before. Like,
I
want to say
it's a little different too when people too.
Yeah,
like, but like you can make deals with some people, because they'll make a deal with you back or something like that, But when you just some, random person coming in there saying, "Hey man, give me this $500 card you got listed for $225 or something,"
Well, can be a problem. I'm like, dude, I don't care about your wallet, your profit, or anything, dude. Like, if you like the card, buy it. If you don't, great.
Exactly.
Like, I told you the lowest I'll go on it. So don't try to fucking heckle me. That is what it is. So,
Or if you are gonna, haggle with them, make it at least close. Not, like I watch a lot of card collector too stuff, and he buys stuff that a little bit cheaper than what they have listed, but at least when he's looking up stuff and he's gauging it, his is always, I'm right there. I'm close to that. It's not like $500 off, of one card or something. It's like, if the dude's like, I want 1,600, he's like, I'm close to that, I'm looking around, 1475, something like that. It's not like some ridiculous ass.
Well, that's like I've been getting on eBay lately. Like the Zion Williamson card. Like people are offering me. Like I had one guy like I blocked because I don't deal with people like this. He's like telling me like this guy's gonna be next grade. Oh, and I'll give you. You better take this 325 that I'm offering you because you're never gonna see it. That card's gonna be worthless. I'm like, dude, then why do you want it? And two, then I respond like, one, it's gonna be worthless. Then why the fuck you want it? And two, on top of that, don't tell me they're my possessions. I've been in this probably longer than you have.
Exactly.
Like, dude, you're not a hustler. You can't bully people into fucking deals. I go, what's wrong with the hobby trying to bully people into shit? I go, my card, I'll set it at. I could set this card at fucking $10,000 fucking dollars. Like, who cares? It's my card. Like,
you saying that right there kind of reminds me of I seen something the other day with some breaker, and it was a 13-year-old kid that had hit I don't remember what card it was, but he hit a card that he PC'd, and one of the employees for that breaker was trying to buy the card from him. And he kept, he just kept hassling him and kind of like what you're saying, just telling him, "Oh, this is the best deal you'll get. I'll pay top dollar for it," and all this stuff. And the kid kept saying, "I don't want to sell it. Like, I just want the card. I PC that player and all that stuff." And so that just kind of reminded me of that because I seen.
It's like what his employee probably was those two fucking dildos there. You know what I'm talking? What was that?
Backyard?
Backyard breaks. Probably over there telling them, "Oh, this is the card, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't win this." Or they probably hit that on a break or some shit. And it was like, "Oh, we're going to keep it."
Yeah. We ain't going to send it to you. I'm just going to tell you I'm going to buy it from you.
And then another controversy comes up and they're just going to go buy fucking followers again.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But no, anyways. But yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect in the hobby or whatever, but I try to treat everybody with respect and do business with. But at the point you're telling me what to sell my cards at and what I should do with them, and I should hook you up so you get a fucking deal. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I used to be, I try to work with those people, but now like this past show when I had like some nice stuff and people are coming at me, whatever. Like, I'm like, dude, I like going forward from that point, like I'm not getting taken advantage of by someone I don't know. And the people that do know me will never do that to me,
Yeah. And like I've always said, like, in my opinion, gauging comps off of auctions is, I don't really like that because, you can have a card that sells for $20 on Sunday and the exact same card can sell for 99 cents 2 days later and then $12 this day. So what comp are you going to go by? You going to go by the 99-cent one, the cheapest one, and you can't ever tell on auctions because you have so many different people that might not be there for the end of that auction to bid on.
That's what they were saying to me on that Iverson. It was like, they're like, "Oh, one sold for like $9.75." And I was like, "Well, yeah, the most recent one was $10.75. So what are we talking here, right?"
Yeah.
So usually what I do in that is I kind of look at the most recent ones and kind of like look at the cluster, of like take the averages of them. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I know like the lowest sold for 800 or say $900 and the highest one was $10.75. So I know I'm somewhere in there in that range.
I like to look around like the sold buy it nows.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that are buying the card, they're not just trying to get a steal off of an auction or something, which that's what a lot of stuff is happening is, you get steals on auctions where you get stuff for cheaper and that's not necessarily the market price for it. That just happened to be somebody was able to sneak in a bid, right there and get it for pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole auction comps is kind of fucked up a lot of the pricing, or at least for the people that are trying to buy shit below comps.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it depends on what game. Like, it's all a game because at the end of the day, if I'm selling a card, I want top dollar for it. If I'm buying a card, I'm gonna say like, hey, like, this is what it is. But like when I even offer someone something on eBay, like it's around like what they're selling for. It's gonna be usually on the lower side of like out of that cluster of most recent ones. But I'll be like, hey, like, whatever. And then for me, like, say if the guy has a list at 500 and I offer 3, but there's someone that's kind of sold around 3. At that point, that's just a starting out point for me, just to say like, hey, I'm trying to be fair, but I want to see if there's any wiggle room. Like if he comes out and takes like $5 off, I'm not gonna waste my time like even sending a rebuttal.
And then my whole thing with a lot of it too is a lot of the new people that are in the hobby, they treat it as stocks. Everybody nowadays compares it to stocks. Yeah, it's a gamble. You got to play the dips and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, but can you go into the stock market and be like, let me give you 20 cents for this stock, even though it's $3 a share. Let me give you 20 cents for this fucking stock so I can get, you can't do that shit.
No, it's like buying Apple.
Stock market, then treat it like a fucking stock market and buy it for, what somebody's listening for.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like Apple. Like right now, like say.
Oh, yeah. We just got a comment about that too. Look at that. Basically the same thing. I would love to call my broker and tell them, give me Amazon stock for $10, bro. I need to make money when I flip it.
Yeah, dude, I agree. That's literally like how I felt at the show, man. I try to be respectful to people, man, but like that was literally at the recent car show with this one kid. I ended up making a deal with him, because I pretty much doubled up on the card, but still like I don't go and I said this to him. I was like, dude, Apple's 170 a share now or whatever. I was like, fucking if you want to buy it at $1.50, you're gonna have to fucking wait until the whole market tanks on it.
Yeah.
Or whatnot, just because like that's what you want, and that doesn't mean I can get it to you guys. And I just feel like that's like the generation now is I don't know if I don't want to bring politics or anything into it, but I just feel like everybody so feels fucking entitled now. Well, like I want to sell this for 150 or I want this for 150. You should sell it to me at this price. Exactly. I don't do shit. It's my card.
Yes.
I don't have to do shit. I don't
sell it for what I want. And if it doesn't sell for what I want, then I'll keep it. If I want to take a lower price, I will.
Yeah. Like so that I don't know, man. Like I feel like I will always work with people that I've done business with that hook me up on deals and do stuff. Like I think that's just part of the hobby, and and how this hobby was. I want to say founded, but like kind of built was by like people trading cards for other cards as a kid,
like collectors, pretty much. It wasn't necessarily
like now you have these these influencers kind of like in it that are all it's quick flip, quick money, quick whatever, hey, you can make it, like, but I've seen it, like for example, Roth cards, like he flips and his thing's flipping, but it's well known that that's what he is within the hobby, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like, who cares? Like, I know, what he is. He's, honestly, he's like a great dude. Like I've met him at a card show, whatever. He's from the Tampa area, like good dude, but like he's in it just to flip, like, and that's how he makes a living off of it. Right. He doesn't give a shit about collecting. Cool. Like I know that going into it. So, I mean, these people, you can't do it, but just because you're a flipper, like, or someone that comes in here and flip doesn't mean like if I have a car that's $1,000, I should sell it to you for 800. So you have room. Like, I don't care. Exactly. Like that's the point I'm at now. Like, I don't care, like, about that stuff. Like it was like everybody coming up to you.
Turn around and flip it and sell it to a collector that wants that, because he's not going to sell it to another flipper. Mm-hmm. Another flipper is not going to pay what that dude is paying. He's going to try and do the exact same thing he is. He's going to be selling it to a collector, and that's exactly what we're trying to do, is sell it to a collector that actually wants the damn car.
It was funny too. It was pretty funny. Like Brian, we were at the show or whatever, and I think someone came up to him about something. It was like, hey, can you sell it to me for this? And he's like, no, dude. He's like, why don't you just fucking bring the guy over here that wants to buy it for this? He can buy it for me for this price, and you don't have to go through it.
Yeah.
Like he was just trying to get it sold so he can turn around and flip to someone else. He's like, why don't you just send that fucking guy over here and buy it from me?
Yeah.
Fucking like I know that it may or may not make sense, whatever. But like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like I'm just kind of over the fucking used to sell it to me for this or that or whatever.
Yeah, Freddie Falcon made another good comment. He's like, I remember when dealers at shows would get mad if you comped cards in front of them. They would tell you to just go on eBay and buy it if you found it cheaper. That's another thing
yeah.
I believe too. I was like, okay, I know how I take care of my cards. I know how I keep them, safeguarded, whether they're graded, raw, whatever. So I know what that buyer is getting. With eBay, you don't know what the hell you're getting. You may not even get the damn card. There's so many scammers on there now, or you may get some beat up ass card. So I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, you see this card here, you see what condition it is. That's why you want it, because it's a good damn card. So and you can flip it, whatnot. But yeah, if you see it cheaper on eBay, go get it cheaper on eBay. There's probably a reason it's cheaper on eBay.
Not even that. When you sell shit at shows too, people are always like, hey, like, well, if you sell this on eBay, you're going to hit with fees and shit, and all that other stuff, right? So it's like you're selling this for $1,000 after fees. It's it's like $850. You should sell it to me for $850.
Business.
Well, they're like, well, you should sell it to me for $850 because that's what you're gonna get. But like, dude, you got to pay sales tax on fucking eBay, so you're getting it for not, 9 and change. So fucking pay 9 and change on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like people forget, like, hey, the sellers on eBay aren't the only ones. I want to say getting screwed, but they're the only ones that have fees. Like, you guys have sales tax. You're getting it at a fucking show. There's no sales tax.
Yeah.
So
and that too, whenever because they're trying to make money off of eBay and they talk about fees. I had a big deal when with a lot of the breakers, people that sell stuff on, social media and stuff, how they're like, send it friends and family, unless you want to pay the fees or something. Like, paying fees is part of fucking business. If you're, that's just part of it. It's, you need to work that into your price or something like that. If you're worried about the fees, because friends and family, you have no protection if you're trying to get.
Well, if I'm buying online, like there's no friends and family, it's goods and service.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're buying it off social media or something.
If I'm at a card show, like, and if I have the card fucking in front of me like this, and the guy's like, okay, send me $200, PayPal, I won't do it because I'm here. I'm seeing the fucking card, right? Like. But like online,
like when they send the card into PSA for $100 grading fee, do they haggle with their asses on their business practice? Like, hey man, this card's only worth $20, so can I get it graded for $20? Something like that shit. They only do it with collectors and trading. Like, why don't you do it with everybody else? Because it's a business set up. That's what we're trying to do too. It's a business.
I'm set up legally as a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, like, I don't have, like, there's a problem that, like, it's just an entitlement, I feel, nowadays. I'm not trying to be negative. I try to be upbeat and positive, but the entitlement, like, hey, you should sell it to me for this. Because that's what they're selling. Like, no, dude, like, it's my card. I'll do whatever the hell I want with it.
And I think that's where a lot of the whole influencer stuff come out. Like you said at the beginning, yeah, influencers are good for the hobby, but there's a lot of bad influencers in the hobby too. And that right there is, they go showing off their tricks and stuff on how they get deals and everything. Oh, you got to buy everything below comps. This. It's like, yeah, now you're putting that out there. And because you're famous, now everybody's, running, trying to do the same shit. And it's kind of screwing up the hobby in that aspect. I mean, the hobby's grown, no doubt. But I think on the back end of things, like when you're trying to make deals with people, like you said, everybody feels entitled that they should get the best deal possible. And it's like, my whole thing is when I go to a show and I see somebody, if they don't have something priced, or if I'm trying to buy value boxes, whatever, I ask what they're expecting for it, because it's their shit, like what do you want for it, and then they'll tell me and I'll be like, if I can do that, I'll do it. If not, then I'll be like, well, would you take maybe $50 less if it's a certain, like a value box or something like that. Try to make it. I'm not gonna, ridiculously, if they say I want 300 for it, would you take 75? Well, I don't expect
like that's what it is now.
Take 75.
I had someone do that to me on another card on eBay. I forget what the hell it was. Man, I can't think what it was, but it was like a $300 card, and they're offering like, oh, it was a Kyle Trask on campus, like PSA 10. I have it like marked at like 300.
Yeah.
Like they send me a comment like for like $30, like an offer for $30, like, oh, go Gators, blah blah blah, this and this. I'm like, I sent a counter like if they went like that low, I just take like $5 off and like send it to them
Yeah.
or whatever the minimum, like 290 or whatever, send it back to them. They send me like another one for like $40. I go and I just respond. I was like, don't waste my time sending me meaningless offers. I go, be like, yeah, this is not a $5,000 card or whatever, but you know, it's not a $30 fucking card either. Like I was willing to work with you, but now like you're not getting a deal from me.
Yeah, something I've started doing with that because I incurred the same shit. You know, it's like, you know, just ridiculous offers. And so what I've started doing is, yeah, if I don't sell the shit, whatever, but I list my buy it now price for a lot higher than what the going rates are, because I've noticed if I list it higher than what the going rates are, then the lowball offers end up being around what I want for it anyway, instead of listing it for the going offers and then get even worse lowball offers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like you can play, but at the same time too, sometimes it prices you out of things.
It does,
or watchers. But I mean, honestly, at the same time, I never really put minimums on stuff, right? Just because I like seeing like where offers are. If they're clustered around the same from different people, then I'm like, okay, this kind of gives me an idea what people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
Instead of me just saying like, hey, I'm not taking less than this. But I think I'm getting back to the point where I'm just gonna put minimums on it. Like I just can't do it anymore. It's just too like I'm too busy, too much shit going on. You know,
your time having to reject.
Even though it's a couple seconds doing it, but like I think it's going back to that.
And I've had dudes that, not necessarily dudes, but whoever's sending the offers where they'll send me an offer. Like I had one card up there. It was like a $250 $100 card, and sent me a $50 offer for it. And I just reject those. I don't even send a counter offer because I'm like, you know, it's a waste of my time because they ain't gonna pay what I want them to pay if they're sending that kind of shit.
Yeah, I'll just decline.
So I hit decline, and then
but
he kept resending the same offer. I'm like, I already declined it 3 times. Obviously I'm not going to take it the 4th time just because you're trying to make me.
Well, because I know on one of the videos I saw with Jeff, over at Sports Card Investor. In one of his videos, he said he's like sometimes I'll send an offer like 3 times, like he's like I'll send an original offer and they'll send theirs, and I'll send the same offer again to see if they move. He's like, and then if they move a little bit more down, then he's like, I'll just send the offer again, and something on the 3rd one they'll, he's like, I've had look, sometimes they just accept it,
yeah,
because they're trying to be firm or whatever. Like, which I mean, it can work on that, especially, but he's not sending an offer where it's like fucking 300, 400. Yeah. But that's what these people are trying to do. I'm like, dude, I don't need to move. And I tell people at shows, I'm like, dude, I'm all set with cash. Like, I don't need to sell this. I'll sell it when I want to, or if I feel like, the offer is okay, or if I have something else I'm looking at. Like, I don't need to sell this to you. So stop throwing cash at me like I'm, a homeless person.
That's how I'm with my cards and stuff. I've never been big on selling. Now I've opened, a website where I sell stuff, but that's just something, I'm getting into that I've been wanting to do, but I don't necessarily care if I sell all of it. Like if it's stuff I don't want, then I'll list it for a lower price just because I don't necessarily want it. I'm not always trying to make money off the cards. I'll try and list stuff cheap so other people can get it for a cheaper price for their collection or whatever. Somebody wants to flip it, they can flip it, whatever. But I just put it on there, and I try to put it for the price I want for it. Try to make them around what going rates are for them. And if it's something where I'm like, I got like 3 or 4 of them, I'll sell it for, a little bit cheaper than what the going rates are, whatever.
Then brings us new thing about the hobby. You have a photo of the CSG's new label.
Yeah, I do. Let me bring
CSG's
that up.
so anybody doesn't know, CSG last year they came out, started to do sports cards and things of that nature. They came out with a new label design. I haven't seen it yet, so this is gonna be like initial reaction to that new label.
Okay, before we jump to that picture, Freddie Falcon threw another comment out there. I love what's the lowest you would go on this? I respond, well,
Dude, I use the same thing,
you would be willing to go on.
I use the same thing, Freddie. Dude, that's like, especially the greatest is like when you have a card mark like in your display case or whatever, like $500.
Yeah.
What's the lowest you go on this? Like,
well, I'm marked at $500.
I'll just say 500, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously, like make me an offer, right?
Right. I was thinking of my lowest price I would want on it when I marked it. So yeah, but yeah, speaking of the CSG label, this is the new label they came up with. It's I think it looks a hell of a lot better than than that green crap they had going on. That's what turned me off from CSG from the get-go, was just that, and it was huge. The damn label was huge, and it had that green outline, and it just, I mean, maybe it looked good with some cards that had green in them, but I just don't think.
I honestly don't know if it's hard for me to say because my logo and everything's black and gold, right?
Yeah.
But I do not like that CSG shit up in the upper left, like that teal and purple shit.
Yeah.
Do not like that. Like, I think if they just kept that all black with the CSG and gold, whatever, then fine. I do not like that's my initial reaction. I do not like that shit in the upper, like those two colors together.
Yeah.
I don't think it flowed.
I think the label looks a
cleaner
and a lot better than that other one. I still think it kind of looks generic, like
yeah, I'm looking at an old CSG label though.
Yeah, I mean, it's tons better than the other one.
I think so. But, I think I don't like too much going on with the label because I don't want to take away from the card. But yeah, I mean, I think that looks a lot cleaner. I do not like how they throw like teal and purple in on this fucking thing when everything else is like black and gold.
Yeah, I think if they would have just had their CSG logo in the gold and then did away with that purple and teal. I don't know what the purple and teal has to do with anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I think it looks a hell of a lot better.
I do too. But so I think the last thing on this, one of the last things on this rundown too, Leighton and Blez did like a nice flawless break for basketball this past Friday. I think it was Friday out in Vegas. $40K a spot. I thought that was, for me for basketball, like I would probably never buy in that, but they did 25 cases, 2 flawless boxes per case. And then like after each case, they just kind of randomized the people that bought in and the teams again. So everybody had a fair shot of getting like a good team, which I definitely like that portion of it. But before we get into the other part of this, one at $40K a spot, I think they only pulled one logo man, like a Donovan Mitchell, or Michael Porter Jr. I'm sorry, I think logo man out of that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So maybe the people, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched probably about till case like 12 or 13. I was tired and went to bed. But I don't know if they like you got your 40 fucking K out of that thing.
I honestly don't think any
No.
pricing points for any product nowadays you get, your worth out of it.
If I were just to look at Michael Porter Jr. logo man price on that,
ain't even close for 40,000 a spot.
I don't even see any like logo man.
Or the logo man's one of ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know.
I'm not going to look at
Michael Porter Jr. ain't gonna be close to $40,000 a spot.
No, but if I'm trying to find,
would it even break 1,000?
I'd probably say yeah, but like here's I can't use it. I gotta try to find someone that's
around his talent,
Yeah.
or market wise.
I don't know. There's a Sadiq Bey from the Pistons logo, man. Went for like 36.
36,000.
Yeah, so here a Trey Young flawless logo man 101 went for like 1,000. But that was a digital card, so take that back.
Oh,
Yeah, fucking right at the end they throw a digital card in there.
yeah.
You
I know. I hate that shit when I'm looking at something. I'm like, oh damn, this is buy it now for this price, and now looking at it digital only. I'm like, oh shit.
So a Danny Granger game used 101 logo man went for 1,300.
1,300, yeah. See, yeah, that's not even close for the value of a 40.
So Brandon Ingram Plumlee dual logo man 101 went for $3,000. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so let's say 7-8 grand. Like, I just don't feel like 40K a spot. Like anybody got their fucking money worth out of that.
Yeah, you said it was 40,000 a spot.
40K, 25 cases. So like 50 boxes in general.
Man,
so, yeah. I mean, at that point, though, those are people that have money to kind of piss away on shit.
Yeah,
but
I get that. But
yeah,
damn.
So it was the biggest break they did. But then I guess then the next day I'm looking at it on Leighton's page, and I seen him set up in Tampa. I never really had a one-on-one conversation with him, but he seems like a nice guy. And then I see him issue an apology. We do breaks all the time, whatever. So apparently he was apologizing for the girls that he had in the video. There was like showgirls that were like models handing like it was kind of awkward. Don't get me wrong. Like it was kind of awkward where I think Blez does this all the time. He has like girls in his video, like models, whatever, bring shit up. So, but there was like a couple of different camera views, and there was a camera view of like the girl, like the boxes, and the girls are standing there. Then once they say, hey, case, now it's time for case 3, they bring up, show up case 3, boom, bring it up, set it down, right? And then they walk off. They're done, right? Until then they start going through the cards, breaking it. And then case 4's turn, they come back, blah, 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 whatever. So they're listening to apologies and do things that we didn't mean to be like, I don't want to say sexist, but I can't think of the word, like objectifying like women. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, I didn't see, at first I thought it was a little awkward because the girl was kind of like standing there, but like, it was nothing like a model in Vegas isn't anything. And they weren't wearing like skimpy outfits. It was like yoga pants and like
thongs and stuff.
No, there was just it wasn't like literally
or something.
No, it was literally like athletic yoga pants and like a top.
Yeah.
Like I think that one girl like it's nothing more than like a bathing suit, like a 2-piece bathing suit for a woman for like the top part the one girl had on, like kind of like a bikini type thing. Another one had like I don't know the women's fashion.
I may catch flack for this or whatever. Like, I'm not for it. I don't need, chicks, showing, anything to sell cards or whatever. But, hey, if they agreed to get paid to do it, they're the ones that objectified themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to accept payment, do it. I seen one person like it was the worst thing to be a woman in the hobby last night. I saw like a comment of that or something like that. And I'm like, so are you going to stop going to Vegas because there's scantily clad women serving you drinks? Are you going to stop watching football games because there's cheerleaders on the sideline, with just as much clothing as those ladies had in the
Hooters sponsors come to
our and most of the woke dudes that are on there talking about, all this stuff are probably, right after that, going to Hooters to watch the damn, March Madness, it's if you get paid to do it and you accept it, then is that somebody else objectifying you if you know what you're getting into when you accept the payment?
I'm pretty sure that these like they model
professional models,
Yeah, they model for like,
or they work somewhere in Vegas that is something similar to it. I don't have a big deal with that. If that's how they run their shows and women agree to do that, then
like, does it kind of look like a little cheesy? I think if you're
it looks cheesy.
Like Leighton and Blez are like the original breakers, like they don't need like the attention or whatever. Like I think Blez does it all the time, like in his video. Like that's his why can't man? That's like how he markets himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Like that's fine. Like Leighton, like if that's not you, like perfect. Like I think Leighton is a great guy. He was actually a class act for putting out a statement because he was catching flack from all these woke people. Like, yeah, like don't get me wrong. I have female friends within this hobby, and I've never looked at them like that. And I know it's hard for females in the hobby because it's such like male, dominated like hobby for all the past years, but I've seen more and more females getting into it and more females being successful at it.
Yeah.
These girls model for a living, you know,
and
let them model. Like they got paid for it. It's not like they just stiffed them or whatever. And it's not like, and honestly, I can't see behind the scenes, but on camera or whatever, you had like really, I couldn't see anybody like hitting on them. They were just doing their job. Like, so, I mean, maybe like off scenes where maybe you got a little skeptic, but like the same people that I was watching that video, with, or not watching it with, but watching it on YouTube, like I saw the same shit they did. Maybe after I went to bed, maybe something happened, but I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, did the what's his name, Blaise, was he objectified because he took off his shirt? I mean, I just feel like is it just because a man had them in their video that they're objectified? Because I've been on Whatnot and I see women on there with their own streams that are damn near half naked wearing a Pokemon outfit or something with cards between their boobs. It's empowering when a woman does it on her own?
What stream is that on there?
Do what?
So what stream is that on there?
It was some Whatnot, like some, I don't remember, like, I didn't watch the video. I just seen it in the live show previews. And I was like, what the hell is that? I'm like, so it's objectifying if a man pays a woman to stand there by some cases, but if a woman does it on her own, it's empowering. Like, either way, you're still getting paid to do the exact same thing. So
I don't know.
You're using that to objectify yourself to make money. So
that's where I go with this. Like I stay out of that stuff. I'll voice my opinion if asked. Like on the show, obviously we need things to talk about and different things that happen in the hobby, so we can be transparent on it. You have daughters of your own.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a niece. Like my biggest thing is like I don't feel and you as a parent to girls, like I don't feel like they were making them wear like skimpy swimsuits or anything like that. Like they were staying in their hand cases. It was just, I just felt like a traditional. I felt that was very tame for them being in fucking Vegas. So what the direction that could have took, I thought that was very tame of them. Like, yeah, they did it. Maybe it was just a vibe. Like, hey, we're in Vegas. Let's have showgirls. Like, whatever. There's a bajillion showgirls out in Vegas. Like, I don't know. Like
the same people complaining about it are probably, bouncing their ass to Cardi B's WAP. I mean,
I don't know. Like, I'm not going that direction with it. I'm just stating that I think that was very tame. I think it was very professional for Leighton to came out and apologize, even though I don't feel like he had to. So that was me. That's
like another thing for people to come out and hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah,
I mean that's one of the things, and I mean there's tons of women in the hobby that don't do that. That they don't need to do that. And I know I seen somebody else, I believe it was 222 cards. They said they don't really care for that. They didn't care for that, but they also want their stuff to sell because of their badass collection and how their customer service and stuff like that, and how they are with the people in the hobby. And I feel the same way, like I don't necessarily think you need anything like that to promote it, but I think it kind of goes along with their culture in Vegas. That's Vegas.
Yeah, but even at 40K a spot in that break, man, you know what I'm saying? Like 40K a spot in that break, it's not like average Joe's like you and I in that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying into that break. But so, I mean, it's probably, I don't know, say older dudes. I know one of the guys who was on cameras, whatever, was like an older guy in there, but he wasn't like fraternizing with them like on camera or anything. Like, so, I mean, I don't understand, like he was more concerned about cars, having fun, mingling with like the dudes there, like, Blaise and all them. And like, so I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I could have missed something. Like I said, I had it on as background noise and I went to bed early. So it could have been something before or after, I wasn't paying attention to. But from what I saw, I was like, they weren't even really taken away from the break because they weren't standing there on camera the whole time when they were breaking cards. They left the camera. So
and like I said earlier, like, I mean, you have cheerleaders on the sidelines of football games. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people are at that football game and paid all that money just to go sit there and, Google the cheerleaders on the sidelines? That's just part of the game. It's just, they accept to make, payment to be a cheerleader on the sideline and stuff.
Freddie, I'm sorry, Freddie. For some reason, these comments don't come up at times. Like, we actually manually have to do it. But, yeah, I think it was a strange partnership because I know Leighton and his wife are very big and, and do a lot for, the female community within the hobby. I don't know Blez, never met him. I never really followed him, to be honest with you. But I just heard, from people in the hobby, that like Blez and them, they usually have like a showgirl or whatever you want to call it, model, in their breaks. But yeah, I think it was a strange partnership from like Leighton and everything. So I know it was weird, but you have the two biggest breakers in the hobby trying to do something, come together for like a big event. Like I understand that portion of it. And two, like Leighton may got blindsided by it as well. Like you might not even know like models are going to be used, or it might not have been discussed, and Blez could have just shown up with them. But I guess yeah, I understand what everybody's concern was. Like it was just kind of awkward more than anything. But I didn't feel like they were objectified, and I thought it was very tame. Like they could have went so many different directions. Like Blez could have out in Vegas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we all. I've been to Vegas before. I don't know if you have or not, but I just feel like it was tame. Like I mean, it's not. I don't feel like they took away from the hobby or all. They were standing there in between like cases or whatever. Then in the background or whatever.
Yeah, how was that any different than that game show where
deal or no deal?
A pretty woman carries the briefcase over to Howie Mandel so he can open it? How's that any?
Yeah, I mean, dude,
that's totally family friendly and all that.
Don't tell them about that, man, because you'll blow their fucking mind, man. You tell them about deal or no deal. But I don't know. I do understand, like, to a point, the concern, like, of I don't know. I just feel like it's if I want to be a salesman like I am and kind of spin this, are we just? I think we could be objectifying women even more, saying that they're just standing there to be pretty or whatever, in a male-dominated hobby for all these years. So are we saying that women can't be in this hobby more than showgirls, or model? Like, so you can spin it however you want. I thought it was very tame. I mean, I wasn't even really paying attention to them on like when they were going in between cases, all that they were doing is, yeah, exactly. I think we were talking about that Friday. There was we've seen Instagram pages where some lady's just putting a card near her breast or whatever and taking a photo. So I think that's like more degrading for the hobby than anything. Like I felt just a model is like this is literally the same as deal or no deal, but it's a break. So I don't know. I just feel like it was tame for what it was. Like I said, if I was like my niece was one of the girls there, I don't think they made them wear anything scandalous. I've seen worse or more revealing outfits at the gym than what they were wearing,
Yeah.
Like I mean, if they never
go to videos, you see worse of it, and it's coming from
never go to a beach or a fucking pool,
Yeah, exactly.
Like because I don't know. Like I mean, like I said, I wasn't there.
Don't go to Walmart and see the panty section where it shows a woman wearing panties. I mean, geez. It's
I'm not
it's crazy.
I'm just saying, like, I thought it was tame. Like, I understand, the concern of objectifying women. I think because it is a male-dominated hobby, but like, you have plenty of females in this hobby that have done great for themselves because they're knowledgeable, and we shouldn't take away from that. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't look at a female in the hobby and think, oh yeah, well, she's not showing anything, so she's not worthy to be in the hobby or something. Like, I'm just looking at the cards. I don't care if it's a female or a dude selling cards. I'm just looking at cards. Yeah. So if you're a good hobbyist, I mean, whatever, I don't care who you are. Shit. And I mean, no different if a woman wants to throw a man up there to carry cases to her to sell cards, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's like if whoever accepts payment to do that job, I mean, they're not held at gunpoint to accept that job. You know, I mean, whatever. It's I don't know. I don't feel like it was that big of a deal. Like you said, I get it to a point. I get it where Leighton came out to apologize to his fans, you know, because, you know, that's not how they normally do things, and that's totally acceptable for them.
The comment pretty much summed it up. Definitely blown out of proportion. I think people just wanted their 15 seconds of fame by making it a thing. You know, it is what it is. I mean, people are entitled to their opinion, but I think, you know, at the same time, everybody's entitled to opinion. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. You know, You know, I personally, in my taste, I didn't think it was anything untasteful. Like I would have turned it off.
WWE.
Yeah, I would have turned it off if it was something like I don't like gimmicky stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I would have turned that off if I really felt like it was
objectifying, you know, or where they were being rude or, you know, treating them.
And like I said, we only saw what was like on camera. Like something could have happened after where he apologized. Like I don't know. Like we weren't in the room or whatever. All I saw was things that are on camera, and I wasn't even paying attention really for the most part. Like in between the cases.
Yeah.
When they're going through
watch the break. I just see, you know, I just seen all the news coming out about it, and I just kind of checked out everything that people were saying, and you know, from what I seen from my point of view, and you know, I mean, hey, if people don't like it, don't watch it. If I mean, you can say what you want to say, but I just think some people like everybody's saying it's blown out of proportion. I don't think it deserved a lot of that stuff. I mean, I don't know. If I get paid to do something, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm the one that accepted payment and want to do it, you know, whatever.
But, all right. So moving off that, let's go back to positivity. We're doing a new time on this. We're going to start Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I felt like we could get more people involved in doing the Sunday mornings. You know, everybody go, you know, might be going to church or have family activities, brunch time, you know. So we're going to switch up the times a little bit on this. So we're going to do Saturdays at 7 Eastern.
And not only that, it helps us kind of, you know, get more people on the show too, you know, not being so early on a Sunday morning.
So we originally did it Sunday mornings because our schedules were kind of conflicting, but now that we're kind of more in a rhythm and our lives is, I'm going to say slowed down, but we got more control of our scheduling. We're able to bring it together a little bit better. So we're going to do Saturdays starting next week at 7 p.m. Eastern. Everything's saved to our YouTube channel. If you do miss it or if that time doesn't work, you know, always comment. We always go through comments on there and try to respond to as much as we can when we have them. And then, as always, we are giving away at 650 followers on Instagram. Are you pulling up the card?
Yeah.
We have a spreadsheet. We just add everybody's name to it as they follow us. So once we hit 650, we will be giving away this card.
The Anthony Davis graded PSA 10 Gem Mint 2018-19 Panini Prism All Day Silver Prism Gem Mint 10, like I said. So we'll be sending that out to a lucky winner, you know, once we hit 650 followers on Instagram. We don't mind if you subscribe to us on YouTube also. So
so eventually we'll probably do some stuff on YouTube as well. Like we might do it randomly. Like I'm actually thinking about getting like blaster boxes or something, and you know, something where we can give those out as well. You know, and we'll ship them to you. We won't open them and take them and hit a fucking gold Trevor Lawrence kaboom and keep it. You know,
we'll let y'all show us what you hit.
Yeah, you can show us what you hit. Like we try to be transparent, you know, and send good vibes throughout the hobby. We love having people on too. So if you have suggestions for people that should come on, show off their collections, have talks about, you know, that. I know that this week I haven't had a day or time set. I actually have to text them, but you know, Jay Mojo Sports is going to come on this week. It's not going to be at 7, I don't think, on Saturday. It's for his time, maybe he'll come on during that live show. But if worst case scenario is he'll be on at some point this week. He'll go live, but then he'll also be on our YouTube channel. So we just like bringing people in on the hobby, been around all the people, we know personally, bring them on, show off collections, talk about the hobby, talk about where they see it going, all that good stuff. Just to bring more information to the collectors and enthusiasts and different perspectives from everybody. So that's all I have.
And we should be having be having Blaine, owner of Dynamic Grading Authority, coming on hopefully this coming weekend. So I'm back and forth in talks with him, just trying to get a time set up and everything. So yeah, we should be having him on this weekend too. So if you're interested in seeing, their grading company and everything and how, they're different from everybody else and, all that jazz, then join us this weekend for that.
I think a couple episodes ago too, if you go through our YouTube channel, we have you did a reveal of the submission you got back. So we actually did kind of walk through like the slab, what we thought of them, what they do differently, like the report cards and stuff. So that's always something you can check out, skim through till you get to that section of that video. It's pretty neat, but yeah, we'll have them on. But yeah, if we just as always, we'll try to bring stuff to the hobby, news, thoughts, expectations, and we appreciate you guys for joining us, and then we will see you Saturday next week.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you have a good rest of your weekend, brother.
All right. You too.
Everybody joining in, Freddie Falcon, thanks for the comments. We appreciate it. And anybody else that was viewing, thanks for coming out, and we will see y'all next time.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Peace out.